and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 127.
Woo!
Woohoo! Fo is not here today. Not sure what he's doing.
But he's having fun without us is what he's doing.
Yeah. But he is being replaced permanently by...
We haven't told him yet, of course.
Yeah, if he watches this episode, he knows. ErikNye is on the show again. If you guys remember, he guest quite a few episodes last year-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, you've been busy backpacking and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Being a human
Yeah,
being.
all kinds of stuff.
While we're just sitting down on butts and playing video games and shit.
I mean, I wish I had more time to put stuff on my channel. It's been so long. And now that, like, YouTube is doing that stupid thing where
Your 4,000 subs, 10,000.
Yeah, they're raising the...
thing. Yeah.
I'm not too far from the threshold, but, like, I'm going to lose my partnership with Curse for a little bit. And
jeez.
I have to, like, get back to it and make it up, so...
Sucks.
So, yeah. How were your weeks?
Well, if anyone remembers from, like, our episode before, I was at a small little convention called Almacon, which, the reason, nobody's probably ever heard of it, but the reason it's significant to me is because it takes place at the college that I went to, and so I used to help host it back when I went to college there, and now I just go up there as an alumni and help guest handle, so I don't have to deal with all the drama, and it's fantastic.
Drama?
Yeah, although, my gosh, there's always so much drama, and it sucks.
What
drama? But I don't have to deal with that, because
it's a convention.
Yeah, drama! I know. It's like, I know. They're actually...
Fucking hell, you met ProZD, what the fuck?
I did! I met ProZD. So I was ProZD's guest handler. It
That's
was pretty
so cool.
Awesome. I know. He's super chill.
Is his voice as sexy as...
Oh yes.
It
It
melts?
always is 24/7. It's great. It's great. And he always has it at that chill level. Like, that's just how he talks all the time. It's great.
It's not fair.
But yeah, no. It's really
His,
not fair.
his voice shouldn't match his face.
Who is this dude?
ProZD.
He's a YouTube...
Korean
ProZD.
American, I think.
I think so, yeah. Suwon Cho.
Yeah, that's definitely Korean.
He actually got famous mainly through Vines.
Vines.
That was kind of that was the kind of main thing. And then once Vines kind of dropped off the face of the earth, I think he always had a YouTube account, but then he went through Vines and then kind of put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so he actually just recently started doing YouTube full time as of last year.
Okay.
And he and the funny thing I didn't realize, I should have known this, he is from Michigan, which is my home state.
Oh, seriously?
So, yes, he lives in Lansing. He lives in our capital city. So I had no idea.
There are Asian people there?
There's actually a lot of Asian people in my neighborhood.
Really?
The city where I live. Yeah, I don't know why.
So you have a lot of Asian restaurants then, I'm guessing.
We do, actually. We do. I grew up eating Thai and Japanese food and Chinese food. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
That's true. But anyway. So, so he got to be one of our guests and stuff like that, and he was pretty cool. He did a couple different panels. Of course, the one that I can't talk about, but that was really fun, is all the guests sometimes will do like an 18+ panel, is what we call it. Basically, they're adult panels. And the one that we got our guests to do, that ProZD got to do, was basically bad fan fiction reading. And so he got to use his great voices for that one. And of course, I can't, the part of the rules of those things is you're not allowed to record them because these people could lose their jobs if someone posts them on the internet of them doing horror, impressions of...
How do you control that? Like, everybody put your phone somewhere?
Yep, we have a big announcement that says, if we we make a big announcement that there is absolutely no recording of any kind, and it's a small enough room that we basically just have people searching the room. So there are people basically looking around and seeing, if people have their phones on, because some people are just texting, are they actually recording or are they just texting? And so they say, if we catch you recording, we will take your phone away, make sure you delete the footage. And stuff like that. So yeah, no, they try to do they do pretty well. And most people who attend, they respect the guests enough to know not to do that, because it's not even just like a copyright thing. It's literally because, these guests, if it goes online and goes out, they could potentially lose their jobs just because, for X amount of reasons. So most people respect the Yeah, most people do. Like I said, a smaller convention, it's easy. I mean, the rooms are not that big, so it's really easy to kind of go around and make sure that it's all good. In a bigger convention, oh lordy, I don't know how they do it. I think, well, they have more manpower to kind of look around, but yeah, it's pretty intense. But yeah, so he did some great impressions of Harry Potter and Gandalf, to name a few. And yeah, so those are all I will say about the kind of voices he had to do for. I think he did Legolas as well. Yeah, he had to do Legolas as well. So
I don't want to know the story.
You don't want to know, but they were fantastic, and it was an amazing time. So yeah, so that was really fun. I'm trying to think. But yeah, he kind of just talked about, you know, how because the other thing he does now is he does do voiceovers for different games and stuff like that too. There's a couple of voices he's done in some games, and you know, he kind of course showed off how he played Zeus in some smaller game, I think, and he just kind of course showed off his big powerful Zeus voice that, again, they were like, how is that coming from that body? I don't understand.
Yeah, that face.
I don't. That face, right? Oh my gosh, like, it makes no sense. He did tell us, because someone asked about his voice, and he said, oh no, I used to have a high-pitched voice. He said, and then I started sounding like this around 7th grade. We all just went, 7th grade, sorry, for those who are not in the American school system. That's around 13 to 14 years old. So.
I can't imagine a 13, 14-year-old sounding like that.
Well, they usually don't. I gotta Google
his face. What's his name?
Well, look up PROZD and you'll probably find it real fast.
Yeah.
He's a very short, kind of stocky guy.
He does skits, like short skits. Not Vine short, but still quite short for like YouTube standards.
Yep.
And he also has a separate Let's Play channel as well where he does things with his friend and wife, I believe.
Yes, his wife. Yeah, his wife was there too. She's pretty cool. She's an artist. They're very cute together. I found out how they met. I won't give too many details. They met on a forum through Mario Fanfiction.
Mario Fanfic, yeah. I remember the story. Don't remember how I know the story, but I know the story. I
was gonna say, that was the first time I heard it, and I thought, because they met when they were super young, and they've just been together all these years. I'm like, wow, congrats. That's impressive. But yeah, they're
ProZD's short?
Yeah, he's pretty short.
How short?
Like, oh jeez.
Because he just doesn't look like any. The voice and the face is already like that. I thought he would be like a bigger guy.
He's like, I would say maybe about.
If he's taller than Shari, don't tell him.
160 centimeters.
Sorry, 5 foot what?
Like 5'3", 160 centimeters about.
5 feet, 5'3"? The fuck? He's Muggsy Bogues sized. What the hell?
he's pretty short. And I'm 4'11" for comparison. And yeah, he's on the short end. I thought he was, at least. But then again, there's.
I don't understand. Whatever. So unfair.
Anyway. But no, he's great. He's very chill. So yeah, we had him.
I guess that was the highlight of the convention.
That was pretty much the highlight of the convention. It was kind of a quiet convention, unfortunately, which happens. I mean, it's a college campus convention. It's run by college students, so this is not full-time staff we're talking here.
Are you gonna do a video to show off all the shit you bought? No. I
didn't buy that much stuff, actually. I really didn't. I got basically... So there's this comic... The only thing I really got... I got a gift from my brother. I got him a poster of art that was kind of an impulse buy, but someone did kind of a pixelated like art of Samurai Jack with a coup. So I got him that, and I got a good friend of mine a scarf with I have a friend who does scarves who's always at these conventions, and this one had Disney princesses on it and stuff like that. And then for myself, the only thing I got was actually a comic book by some comic book artists that I happen to know really well. There's a comic book artist duo. They're a couple. They're a married couple named Adam and Comfort, if anyone in our audience knows them. And they independently publish comics, but they draw together. So, which is really cool. And I've known them for years because they're local to Michigan. They live in Grand Rapids. And they have done the cover art for our covers for AlmaCon for the past, 5 or 6 years. And when I was on staff for AlmaCon back when I went to college, I was part of the kind of the media arts group, like the advertising group. So I helped make the program, and I did all the advertising and designed all the graphic design stuff for that. So I worked very closely with them. I made the logo that they still use. I actually got credit for the logo. I was like, oh, hey, my name's on here.
That's
so
cool.
now I'm forever... Yeah, so I'm now forever... Because, well, they usually, like, the people who are in charge of the convention, they usually make up a new logo every year just to, like, have in other places. But the year that I made up the logo, Adam and Comfort, who make the covers, they liked that logo so much that they just always use that logo for all of the cover pages now. And so for the past few years, I had made it one year and they just kept using it. So this was the first year that I guess, even though I had graduated, that somebody knew that was mine. And so they actually credited it to me. They said, logo font design by Sarahscopic. I was like, oh, hey, I'm forever immortalized. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so it was a pretty quiet convention. It wasn't really as hectic as it usually was. But that was totally fine. Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Was it last week?
I did get to meet, sorry, one last thing. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Danny Phantom, but I did get to, one of the voice actors who was there, she played Jazz, Danny's sister.
That's
She's
a
really
cartoon,
cool.
right?
Yes, that's the cartoon. If anyone's familiar with that. So she's really cool. But yeah, so that was basically my week, and then just kind of catching up with everything else.
Nice. Was it last week?
Cool.
It was last weekend.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do much. Play Assassin's Creed Origins, more of that.
Do you like it still?
Oh yeah, 40 hours in.
Oh wow.
It feels rewarding, just like exploring and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just
That's good.
feels rewarding. And I watched a movie. It's not new. It's like from the 80s, like 86 or something, called Willow.
Uh-huh. Willow. That sounds familiar, but I don't think I know what it is.
It's
From the 40s, you said?
86.
Oh. I was close.
So the main character is... Okay, let me just look it up. He's a little dude. And his name... Directed by Ron Howard. It's a 1988 high fantasy action film. Directed by Ron Howard. Produced, and the story was by George Lucas. And it stars Warwick Davis. Do you guys... Yeah. And Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I've seen this, but I don't remember anything about it.
So I was watching it and I was like, huh. It's not bad. I like Val Kilmer, so I wanted to watch it. It's basically a fantasy thing.
Great.
Little people, normal sized people, sorceresses and witches, and then there was this at the end. There was a fight between the good sorceress and the bad sorceress, and then the good one punched the bad one in the face. So that was pretty cool. It's a pretty okay movie. Warwick Davis was great. He's the main character. That's about it. Like literally, that's it.
I forgot one other thing I did, but I'll let Eric go first. It was actually a show I actually started watching. I can't believe I forgot about it. But
oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I did, and we've been talking about it in chat. Sharon, it's too bad Foe's not here. I did start watching Altered Carbon. Yes.
Okay. Go on.
Yes.
How many episodes you watched?
And
that's on Netflix, right?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
I have watched 3 or 4.
And how
Can't
many are
remember
there?
how many.
10? 10
I think
or so?
there's 10.
Okay.
Yes, there's 10. I think I've watched 3 or 4. I think that sounds right. They're 45 minutes. So I'm pretty familiar with the theme of Altered Carbon because a tabletop game that I've played a bit of is basically just stole whole cloth from it from this trilogy. So like I'm pretty familiar with the world already. So I rather enjoy it. It is a bit slower paced, which I don't mind, but like they try to, I think, take some cues from like Blade Runner kind of direction, which is fine. So in those kinds of things, it's really interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely, it's weird because the main character is one of those kinds of characters that like you're both, I think, supposed to sympathize, but also recognize he's got a real gray, weird morality about him. So that's really interesting. And, yeah, so I don't know how much else to say, because it's about transhumanism. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it definitely explores all of the, intricacies and just kind of the weirdness about that. For those who don't know, transhumanism is, I don't know, the basic idea with this show is that, like, everyone, when they're born, they basically get all of their memories and data put on something called a cortical stack. It's basically like your whole being becomes part of a chip. And no one's basically allowed to die. Like because everyone's bodies are called sleeves, basically. So you can just kind of take your cortical stack and slip it into a new body, and oops, there you go. And so
when you say new body, as in like I can look different or look whatever I want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like bodies are just kind of, they're disposable. All you need is that chip that's all of you, and you can just slip. It's kind of like just slipping into a new robotic body, except it's not truly robotic. They basically grow these bodies.
So I can be a white guy if I want to.
Yes, you can.
Finally, damn.
I know. Which, yeah, exactly. And so it's all about that kind of. But there's also that weirdness associated with that, like how your brain like kind of has this dysphoria with the fact that you're changing bodies and stuff like that. So they deal with that. And like for example, in the first episode, basically there's a scene that they kind of show you just to explain the weirdness of it. The part of the law with this whole thing is if someone accidentally like if someone gets killed in an accident but their cortical stack is safe, so that they're still alive, it's just that their bodies are gone, the government will give them a free sleeve. The sleeves are that's what they call bodies. You just slip into them. And so they give you a free sleeve. Well, they show you this really weird scene of these two parents talking to this sobbing, crying old lady, and you find out what happened was their 7-year-old child got hit accidentally in an accident and the sleeve died, and so the government offered a free body, but they offer only what they can offer, which isn't always the best bodies, so they had an old woman's body, and that is what this poor 7-year-old was uploaded into. So like weird stuff like that.
So the bodies are not newly made?
Not always. It's expensive. It can be expensive to do that.
So the body that you're born with, is it artificial or no?
So the body you're born with is real, but except for the fact that you have your cortical stack put into you when you're like 1 year, 2 years old, or when you're 5 years old. I forget how old you have to be when you get your first cortical stack, but at a certain age you get your first cortical stack. And yeah, after that, I mean, as long as that cortical stack is functional and doesn't get smashed, you can just slip into whatever body you want. But bodies are expensive.
So every other body after that is like artificially made, sort of?
Basically, they're artificially grown, I think. So they're not like completely robotic. I don't quite remember the specifics. Some of them are. But a lot of them are grown, basically. So
can you upgrade
very
yourself?
much, kind of, yes. It is definitely, I forget what the term of this is, someone can tell me. It's very much a world where the richer you are, like, the more powerful you are. Because actually
like
part of the plot... Yeah.
Classic.
And very extreme. So just an example, because the whole story revolves around, the main character has kind of a past that's part of the story, but basically he's been brought back to life because he was basically in jail for over 200 years. His cortical stack was put, like, in a prison cell, like a virtual reality prison cell for over 200 years. And he was taken out by this... Yeah. They also deal with a lot of mental torture with just your cortical stack in virtual reality. It's super messed up. But
is it like a punishment for criminals kind of thing?
Yeah.
200 years, damn.
So, yeah, they don't hold back on these ideas. So, the whole thing is the main character kind of gets brought back on parole, and his condition for parole is to help figure out the murder of this super rich guy. Because this guy is so rich that he basically has backups of his cortical stack. Like, he has the cloud, basically, for his cortical stack. Not only if you're rich do you have that. So, in essence, what that means is even if his cortical stack got destroyed, he still has a backup. So he, in essence,
always
can
back
live
up your
forever.
data, kids.
Yeah, exactly. He can, in essence, live forever. So the idea now in this world is not only if you're rich do you get whatever you want, but you are effectively immortal. Because even though, like, obviously, if you have a cortical stack, if your body dies, you can still live. If someone is able to
die, though?
Aha! See, here's the thing, is they have a law that no one has the right to die, which is a big plot point.
Ooh.
And a lot of religious groups are pushing against that, like, let us die kind of thing. And, yeah, it's a major plot. You are not allowed to die. If you try to commit suicide and you fail, because it is pretty hard to hit your cortical stack. So let's say you do try to commit suicide and fail, they call it spin you back up. They put you in a new sleeve and they go, don't do that. You get punished. So, yeah, you don't have the
religion
right to
as
die.
in, like, current Abrahamic religion, or it's like some new
They,
stuff?
I forget which. I think the religious. I don't remember. I know in the game I played, basically they had it. The equivalent was basically a conservative Catholic religion. What became the uprising against this. I don't know in the show which it is, but I think it might be similar.
So is the
but
show
I think it is
an adaptation of the board game?
No, the opposite. The tabletop
Oh.
is basically based off of the original books. There were basically 3 books.
Oh, it's a book.
There were
Of course, it's a book.
Yeah, they originally. Yep. There were originally 3 books. It was a trilogy. I think there were supposed to be more. I don't know if there have been. I forget when they were written, but they were originally these 3 books about this world, and the tabletop basically like created their own kind of world, but they stole a lot of things from it. They have a different history and stuff like that, a completely different history, but they stole words like coracle stack and sleeve and stuff like that. So it was very obviously taken heavily influenced by Ultra Carbon, and now this TV show is based off of the book.
Oh,
so
and the books are also called Altered Carbon.
the first book is Altered Carbon, I believe.
But it's a trilogy.
I don't know yeah, I think right now it's a trilogy, yes. I think it was meant to be more, but...
Is the TV series like straight up adaptation? So like the first series is the first book kind of thing, or...
So I can't answer myself because I never read the books. According to my brother, who has read the books, he says that so far, he assumes that the first 10 episodes is for the first book. However, he did mention, he said they're putting a lot of, like, hints from the second book in here, he mentioned. I mean, the plot of it so far is following pretty exactly of the first book, but apparently there's a lot of foreshadowing and stuff and hints here and there that are stuff from the second book. So he's assuming that the first, like, this first season is the first book, but we don't know yet because we haven't finished it. I'm watching it with him and my family, so.
Nice.
But yeah, if anything I said sounded interesting, I would definitely give it a try. It's definitely pretty unique, and I would say, even though I'm not super familiar with Blade Runner, I would say it seems to kind of take inspiration from that as far as the direction. And by that I mean like the way it's edited and cut and the way that they do all the scene direction and stuff like that. It reminds me of a bit of what I know of Blade Runner. But it's otherwise pretty interesting and very brutal.
More on philosophical discussion between the characters and less action.
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
In some ways. It's not as slow moving, I would argue. I felt Blade Runner could sometimes be a bit slow moving, especially the second movie, but it's not, and there is action and stuff in it, and there's even a pretty graphic sex scene at one point. But it's
Ooh, I'm watching it now.
But it's not but it is definitely kind of like, it takes this idea that I described to you and goes, yeah, we're gonna go as weird as possible with this. And like I said in the beginning, or even this is kind of a spoiler, but you find out, for instance, that the child of one of the rich guys has been borrowing her mother's sleeve because her mother's sleeve is super sexy and she can get laid in it. Like stuff like that. Like it's as weird as you think it's gonna be.
So rich people have sleeves, like they have clothes in their wardrobe almost.
Basically, yeah, and actually, rich people can have clones of their sleeve, which is very, like, expensive, just because it's pretty expensive to make a clone sleeve. Like their sleeves are all the same.
Oh, okay. It's like same
so
face, same bill, everything, same.
Exactly, which is pretty expensive to do, but it's also important because that means whenever they transfer into their sleeve, they don't have that weird cycle, like dysphoria that most normal people do. So, because getting a sleeve is still pretty expensive, and so the fact that they can get clones of the same sleeve is like, whoa. So, because people travel across different planets through just having their cortical stack information sent at light speed, and then it gets downloaded into a different sleeve on, like, Mars, for instance. So, like, instead of having to take your body to space travel... Yeah, exactly. Instead of taking your body to space travel, you just input your cortical stack, the information flies up into Mars, and they just download into a new body. So yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, I recommend that. And if you think, wow, there's a tabletop game of this kind of idea, I would look up Eclipse Phase. The dice system is really, really wonky, but the world is really cool. And yes, the whole point is your character sheet is in 2 different sections. You have your, like, coracle stack section, and then basically you have an initial sleeve, but then you can try to upgrade and get a new sleeve, and it has its own kind of addition to stats. It's a really cool system, so I recommend it.
Instead of changing armor, you just change your whole fucking body.
Exactly. So yeah.
Sweet.
So, that was my week.
I'm gonna go watch Black Panther tonight. So
I'm watching it tomorrow. I'm so excited.
hell yeah!
I really want to see that.
Hopefully it's not a. Hopefully it's like the same. Like, because I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, and the reason I enjoyed it is because it's not like the same as the other Marvel movies. Hopefully it's a different style.
I have heard it's different. I don't think it's like Thor Ragnarok different,
yeah.
But I have heard it is different as far as I think they really the themes and stuff like that.
Is it an origin story? No, it's after the movies.
No, it's after Civil War.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's after Civil War. I'm pretty sure it's not an origin story. I'm sure they will talk about the origin story, but with Black Panther, you don't really need an origin story, to be fair, because the Black Panther is a hereditary thing. The person who's like the prince of, I'm pretty sure it's that whoever's the prince of Wakanda, inherits the Black Panther role. So an origin story in some ways would be kind of dull, because it'd probably just be about like him being angsty about being the Black Panther and then accepting it, and I don't care about that. So we don't have to worry about that. He's already accepted it and he's a badass. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna see it tomorrow night. As of this recording, actually by the time this is uploaded, I probably will have already seen it and I'm raving about it. So everyone I've talked to has said it's amazing. So I'm super excited.
Really? Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't heard one bad thing about it.
Nope.
I haven't heard anything about it, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going in totally blank, totally zero. I did not watch any trailers because I'm just kind of sick of it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep away from trailers and stuff like
honestly,
that.
Yeah, I've been trying.
One of the biggest reasons I'm watching is because it's the main character is not your default white guy. So.
Yes. And
Speaking of which, Assassin's Creed Origins is so good.
So good.
It's
You're playing
so
it.
good.
Are you still playing it? No, you're done. You're done with it.
I mean, right now, like, Monster Hunter World has all of my attention. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I went back and played the DLC.
The hidden ones.
I just ate up the DLC. Yeah, the hidden ones. Did the whole completionist, get all the markers on the map sort of thing.
Oh man.
It does the same usual Ubisoft, like there's things on the map, there's a question mark on the map, go look at it. But I feel like the payoff and the reward is way more than like previous games.
Yeah, to a point. I mean, I still don't. I really love that, there's gear in it.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why, because it's slightly more like an RPG now. It just has more ways to reward you. It can give you new gear, experience points, those kind of stuff.
But even without that, I still love traversing Egypt and finding all these different spots, and I can't wait for discovery mode. That's gonna be so cool. I feel like it's gonna go back to. It goes back to like when they had the game set in Italy, and sometimes you would like get your database updated with like really interesting information about buildings and such. But it's this discovery mode sounds like it's just that, but on steroids.
I honestly, when I was playing the Ezio trilogy, the one that's set in Italy, I was like learning shit about Italy. And I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
Everything I know about Renaissance Italy is from Assassin's Creed.
It's true, though. I mean, that's one of the cool things about those games, even when they're bad. Like, obviously they kind of tweak some things, and there's something to be said about how factually accurate everything is, but you are learning things. Like, most of the stuff is real stuff, and it's like, oh my god.
And I do think Ubisoft actually gives a shit and takes their time to research.
They do.
Yeah.
I feel like they do. Yeah.
You can say anything about their, like, business practices, like, in terms of microtransactions or whatever, but when it comes to like researching and being historically accurate, they do their best.
They do. I really feel like they do.
I think it also helps that they're in France and they have a very diverse like development team. Yeah, I think it helps.
I mean, that was like one of the first things. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. I think they still have this warning up, but I remember when I played the first Assassin's Creed game, like one of the warnings they have up there is like, this game was developed of people of all, different types of gender, race, and religious beliefs. Just because of the first game was so heavily entrenched in the different religious beliefs. But I just thought that was really interesting. They've always been pushing for that. I don't know if they've had that in the later games. I think that was
They had it in Origins, yeah.
They usually
They
still
did?
do,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I wasn't sure, because I remember the first game was pretty important they did that, I guess, for people who were weird. Less so, I think, in later games, but it was just kind of...
They've actually expanded on it a bit. Yeah, they've added, gender identities to it.
Oh, nice.
And maybe another descriptor, but I can't remember right now.
Maybe
But
orientation.
I think that might have been in the older ones too. I'm not sure.
I don't remember if gender identity was in the first one. I feel like
It was not.
it was not. The only reason I have to say this because I know who I was playing with at the time, and I can't imagine that would have gone unnoticed. So,
Okay.
I presume it was not in the first one, but it probably was in the later ones. I believe that.
Yeah.
They basically found a gem with Origins. Before Origins came out, it was like Black Flag and Far Cry 3. Those two were like their best games. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping Far Cry 5 is the same quality as Origins.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice, yeah. Apparently, there won't be any more towers in Far Cry 5. You don't need to climb no towers no more. So, in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, you climb a tower and then you get like a information dump. Like, this is all the interesting points that you should go see. But in Far Cry 5, you find out interesting points by literally just exploring the world. So you talk to this NPC, and then this NPC was like, okay, there's a weapons cache enemy thing over there. Oh, then you'll go over there. Or if you're just walking around and you see a signboard warning you about mountain lions, and then you'll know where mountain lions will be. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
There are numerous shows that I'm paying attention to at the moment. I ate up the second season of Humans last week. Humans is an Amazon show about androids as home appliances.
Son of a... I looked it up.
It's called Humans,
the first news thing is like the science of why human breasts are so big. Okay, thank you, Business Insider.
Thanks, Google. Oh my god.
Awesome.
Why? Okay.
Yeah, it's a great show. I would check it out if I were you. What else? I've been watching The Path. The Path is such like a cult show. Like no one really knows about it. It's on Hulu, but it's fantastic. And I'm just like
Aaron
waiting
Paul.
every day for. Yep, Aaron Paul's in it, and he's fantastic. And Hugh Dancy is in it as well from Hannibal, and they're both just amazing actors in that show. I'm waiting every day for The Expanse, the new season of The Expanse, and reading the books at the same time. It's my new love. But yeah.
So it's a new age thing. The Path. It's like a new age.
The Path is on its third season. So yeah, somewhat new.
No, as in the premise of it. They're part of like some kind of new age religion type thing.
Yeah, I guess the quickest, easiest way to do it would be to call it like a new age cult, sort of.
Okay.
But obviously the characters in the show hate the term cult, and they prefer to say that they're a movement. But yeah, they're obviously a cult. But what's interesting is like it's definitely about a lot of critics have said that it moves too slowly, but if you really are watching it, every single thing a person does, whether there's no dialogue or anything, like tells you multitudes about each specific character and their dynamics with other characters in their relationships, and it's very much about how putting religion before other human beings like your family and your loved ones impacts those dynamics and those relationships. It's definitely about the sort of power that people have at the top of those sorts of movements and religions, abusing that power, stuff like that. It's definitely very heavy, but I really, really recommend it. It's one of the best shows out there. But more importantly, Monster Hunter World. Who's playing it? Everybody's playing it.
I actually haven't. Well, I've never played. I never really got into Monster Hunter, but I've been told that if I'm going to get into Monster Hunter World is the game to get into.
Yeah, I haven't played any either until this one.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
So it's newbie friendly, I guess. Newbie friendly to new Monster Hunter players.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of newbie friendly, and I also kind of heard it was like, I don't know. I think it just seemed, I don't know. Someone else needs to kind of describe. I'm not sure. It just feels a little different than the other Monster World games, I think. I don't know. Someone else should explain it because I don't think I can. But I think it's the first.
Yeah, it's the first console and PC adaptation of a Monster Hunter game.
That's true too. So there's that part of it as well.
The combat's really cumbersome and takes a lot to get into and has a huge learning curve. So they have like, from what I've heard, there's like in the top right corner of the screen, there's like a little combo guide or like what kind of moves you can do after the move you just did, sort of thing going on. That wasn't in the previous games. But yeah, I wouldn't really know too much about the difference between this one and the old ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just worried because it looks very appealing to a new person, to a new Monster Hunter player. But I'm afraid if I get it and I play it, I'm like, this feels like the older ones that I couldn't get into, and I just can't get into this one.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
But I want to hunt dragons and dinosaurs.
It looks kind of hard too. Like it's really easy to die. It seems like to me.
It's so good. It's so good, you guys. You just gotta.
Are you playing
give
it?
A shot, man.
Are you playing
There's
single
cats
player?
in it. You can dress up your cats. Yeah. Well, it's sort of online. Like you can play offline, but and you can play solo, but it's sort of like you can team up with friends and stuff like that. Go out on hunts and whatnot. Yeah. But I don't know how you two can see that you have a cat that you dress up and follows you around, helps you fight, and you guys are like, I don't know. I'm not gonna play Monster.
No,
what are you on?
No, that's pretty cute. Although I feel like I'd spend way more time dressing up the cat than I would like doing any hunting whatsoever.
Do you think you'd be the only one?
No, probably not, but like I wouldn't be playing anything of the game. It's kind of like when I first discovered how in Pokemon X there was Pokemon Ami, where you could just like cuddle the Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure that I like did not advance the game for several hours because I was like, I want them all to be up in the heart.
Here's a cupcake.
Yeah, well, eat it!
Eat the cupcake.
I literally this is how bad I was with Pokemon X. I literally made a Pokemon box that was just called Cute Pokemon. It was just Pokemon that I caught that I thought were really cute for Pokemon and me. So if I ever had a bad day, I would just have one of those out and just like cuddle it because
that's a super adorable idea.
Exactly, that's what I thought. But people
that sounds very therapeutic.
It has been at times, I will admit.
Isn't Pokemon Sun and Moon as well, right?
I think so. I just haven't.
I played Moon, but yeah, pretty sure.
I think it's called something different. So it's called Pokemon. Because it's called Pokemon Ami in X because Pokemon X and Y took place in Paris, France, and Ami means friend. So it was Pokemon Ami, so that's why. So I think it was called something different, but I think they had the same mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
That's a pretty cute mechanic.
Yeah.
And then, when you had them maxed out, their love for you is maxed out, then they would like not get certain status effects.
Oh my gosh, it was great. They would not die. Oh my gosh. Because I didn't know that at first. I just put them all up there, and then I saw like one time I was like, oh no, it's gonna get confused. Oh, I didn't get confused. And one time like I had a Pokemon that was going to die, and then it like came up with 1 HP. I was like, oh, this is great.
And they always say something like, Pokemon's love for you or something like
that. Yeah, like, a little heart.
Pikachu didn't get confused because he loves you.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now I'm confused.
Yeah, my favorite though is actually if you have your Pokemon up at a certain affection rate with Pokemon, and this might be the same with Sun and Moon, but a secret mechanic I found out is anytime you caught a Pokemon with the Pokemon you have a decent height for. I think it was like after 3 hearts or something, or after 2 hearts, you could actually rub its head, and it shows an animation of like you rubbing its head and it going, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I loved it, so I would do it every time I accidentally discovered it. I was like, oh my gosh! Only if you caught a Pokemon, though. That's the only time it would happen. Not if you won a battle or anything. Only when you caught a Pokemon. I don't know why, but it was very specific. But yeah, no, it's great.
They should add in the future games. They should add a jealousy mechanic to that, where some Pokemon get upset that you love other Pokemon also.
No, I would cry. I'd be like, no, okay,
really
look
make
at
you
all your
pick
hearts
and choose.
evenly. All 250 of you.
They call it Polymon.
No. So many Pokemon to love. Oh my gosh, that would be the worst for me. I would be so like, no, don't get jealous. Okay, I love you too. No, don't get jealous. Oh man, I tell you what, I got real good at that yarn game though. I could do like the infinite one. The super hard one.
That was a good game.
Yeah, and I could like get up to like the full cupcakes. It was kind of extreme.
My wife would sit there and play that, and she would get like insanely high scores.
Oh my gosh.
Just
it
ridiculous.
It got to the point that after a while, like, I wanted to get the good cupcakes, but I really didn't want to play for that long, and so I actually would go to the hard, the one notch lower, because it was timed, and so I could still get decent cupcakes or poke-up, whatever they're called, and but I didn't have to play for as long. That's how like, okay, I don't want to do this for 10 minutes. Oh man. We started talking about Pokemon. Okay, but yeah, so.
Because we were talking about Monster Hunter, and then
right,
yeah.
Can you cuddle the monsters in Monster Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's like in like the social area, there's a little pig that runs around wearing a sweater.
Oh.
And if you pet it at the right time, you can rename the pig, change the color of the sweater, and you can also pick it up and just run around with it, because why not? Why are you yawning?
Because
I'm talking about how you can pick up a pig.
It's literally just a natural instinct. It's not because it's boring. I'm actually like really want this pig.
I can't believe you guys aren't in love with this game.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It sounds great. I just
if I'm getting it, I'll probably get it on a PC.
Okay?
But it's coming out later this year.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for PC also, but so many of my friends are playing on PS4, so I don't know, I might get the PC version too.
Yeah, well, that's what always happens, right? Oh my gosh, the greatest trick in the book.
Right.
PC Master Race more like makes me buy it twice. Oh, that's true. That's the true thing.
So yeah, you guys wanna get into some stuff that's happening this week?
Sure. I've got really only one. I got a pretty big news thing. I don't know if you found it though too, so you go first.
Just a few things. A few new games came out this week.
Yes.
Dynasty Warriors 9 is out.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It is.
I didn't know they were still making those.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are. Not just Dynasty Warriors. They have like spin-offs for like other franchises.
Yeah,
and,
Samurai Warriors or
exactly. Hyrule Warriors.
Have they experimented with changing the formula for those games at all, or is it just
Dynasty Warriors 9?
It's the same thing. It's great.
Actually, Dynasty Warriors 9 is open world.
Really?
Aren't they all open world?
No.
I mean,
You're
not
going
in the same
open world
way.
map?
No,
Not in the same
like
way,
that's
yeah.
weird. Not in the same. No, I mean it's you have a battlefield, but that's about it. Really, it's open world. That's weird.
You have like a hub and then you choose your missions, and then you get into the battlefield, and the battlefield is a big one.
Oh, okay.
But open world is like literally just open world.
Oh, it's kind of like Empires then, almost. The Dynasty Warriors Empires was kind of like that. I never played it, but I heard of it. Dynasty Warriors is like my guilty pleasure. It's really bad. It's like my it's not
I loved
healthy.
that. I loved that game.
That was the fighting game I was raised on, if you can even call it that. But like that was the game I was raised on, and literally I played like 3 and 4, and then I stopped playing them, and then my brother and I picked up 8, and we went, "What is this?"
Yeah,
it's the same game, but it's like they changed all the mechanics. I'm like, what? What kind of attacks are these?
So
I don't remember which one came out on Sega Saturn, but that's the
it's
first one I played.
currently sporting a overwhelmingly negative review on
I'm not surprised.
Oh, is it?
Steam.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Dynasty Warriors, no.
Was it why though? Like, what's the problem?
Actually, all the Dynasty Warrior games are positive reviewed. I mean, the good ones, like the good ones that people
really?
like.
Oh, just
Oh,
just the
like
good
8
one.
and
But this
probably
one
3 and-
specifically is probably the worst reviewed one so far.
Oh wow! Is it because it's different?
Ooh, 2 out of 10 on Steam.
So there's a lot of bad things about it. Number one, it's a really, really bad port. A lot of technical issues because it's Koei Tecmo and that's just what they do. Apart from that, they definitely deserve bad reviews for that until they fix it. But apart from that, apparently a lot of people are unhappy with the core gameplay changes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess they
Not
have moved to
interested.
open world, and I think they not just open world, they made other changes as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's all right. I can still play the old ones, and I'm fine. I still got number 8, and I think we got the latest Samurai Warriors, and I am set. I don't need a new one. Trust me.
Yeah.
Good enough. They're basically the same games.
You might be interested in this, Eric. Kingdom Come Deliverance is also out.
I heard about that. I was looking at that title when they announced it, but I don't think I'm very interested in it.
Really?
It looks interesting. Yeah. It looks interesting, but I don't want to say that I disrespect the developer because I don't. But I definitely disagree with their politics. And I'm not,
Politics?
yeah.
What did they do?
What they do?
They're very pro Gamergate.
Ah!
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What did they do or say to
to
portray?
show their pro?
Did they just tweet one time we are pro Gamergate or some shit?
No. I mean, they've been pretty outspoken about it. There's a whole interview.
Really?
Yeah. Let me find it. To be clear, though, they're not the. When I say that, I should specify the head developer.
So yeah, Kingdom Come
The
Deliverance.
head developer. They're not the brand of Gamergate that like wants to go harass people. They're definitely
Right. They're
not
yeah.
that brand.
They're the kind of they're the ones that are like, well, I mean, it's it's obviously about game journalism and tech or whatever, that kind of thing. I understand.
Right? Yeah.
Not realizing the implication. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this article. I can't find it. I will find it and I'll send it to you. But yeah, I'm just like not that interested in the title to compromise that or reconcile that.
That sucks, but yeah, I get
Eh.
it though.
It looks like a fun game. I'm sure people are enjoying it.
Yeah, it's currently also having a few technical issues.
That's what I've heard.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, because it is like a fairly indie-ish game, and it's pretty big. It's an open world, non-linear, medieval RPG, and it's going for the realistic route. And there's very few hand-holding, very few UI telling you what to do in your quests, stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of people are really into the role-playing aspects of it. And you also play someone that's not important in the world. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would actually be more inclined to play it if it were like a fantasy kind of
Less realistic,
kind of
right?
setting.
Yeah.
I think it's neat that it's like in a historical, Bohemia, but yeah,
Right.
True. Yeah.
doesn't really interest me.
I'll be more interested in if it's more fantasy. Same. Secret of Mana Remake is also out.
Oh.
Yeah. It has mixed reviews. A lot of people are saying it's not as good as the original. Like the OST has been changed and stuff like that. So it's having a mixed review on Steam. I'm not sure about the other platforms because it's also on the Vita and the PS4. So yeah. Secret of Mana. That's about it for games that just came out. Next up is Steam. Just changed up their wish lists on their Steam store. They updated wish lists. You can filter and all that shit now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. That took them long enough.
No, right. Seriously, guys, come on.
Yeah. Next one after that is there's a rumor of a Spyro Trilogy Remaster for the PlayStation 4.
I heard about that. Oh my god.
Which makes sense considering Crash Bandicoot Trilogy Remaster was really good for them. And I did not buy that one because even though I really enjoyed fucking Crash Bandicoot kart racing, that was my shit back then. Oh fuck, so good.
CTR?
Yeah.
Did you play... Oh my
Crash
gosh,
Team
yes,
Racing, yes. They're
I
so
didn't play
good.
much Mario Kart. Oh my gosh, I loved that game. That was my racing game.
Yeah,
Like,
that was my
I feel terrible.
that was my Mario Kart.
Yes, exactly.
I love that game.
Yes.
But I didn't buy
I'm
the
so
Crash
glad.
Bandicoot trilogy because I don't know why, I'm just not super interested in it. But Spyro,
right?
Spyro I have never played before and I really want to play.
Oh, I actually did play I played the 3 console games. I didn't play the Game Boy Advance games, but I played the 3 console games. That was definitely my jam growing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I may look into this one just because it's nostalgic, and if they do a good job of it. And I mean, Spyro actually, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I played the game, but like the gameplay mechanics kind of held up even though it was old. I mean, of course, it kind of had the jankety stuff, but the main thing it did do that is more like modern gaming and not really done much back then was it had more camera control. It wasn't fixed camera angles. You could control your own camera if you wanted to. Which is, of course, now like a no-brainer nowadays in modern gaming. So that I'm curious to see. So hopefully they kind of tweak some things. It shouldn't take too much tweaking. As long as one of the games includes a skateboarding section, I'll be good. I think that was the third.
I'm surprised it's not it's a remaster, right?
It's
It's not a remake.
It's the same people that made the Crash Bandicoot one. So
Okay.
it's a remaster, so it will feature the Crash Bandicoot one feature new assets, lighting, animation, cinematics, and they also changed up like the save feature to make it more modern gaming friendly.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's those kind of things. So it's not it's
Okay.
not like a ground up remake.
Yeah.
If Spyro
Crash
has all
one-
all those things, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Crash one went over super well, I think, for the most part for people, so I'm sure they can do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man, if they remastered CTR, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. You can't, like, no joke.
Talking about remakes and shit, Eric, you've been playing, or you played the Shadow of the Colossus one.
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah. I beat it on. I did like a quick normal playthrough so I could get footage
Yeah.
of that.
How is it?
Oh, it's so good.
Is it good?
I mean,
jeez.
If you loved the previous game, then you're
Yeah.
gonna love this one.
Okay.
So I
I-
played it on the
I-
PS2. I've also played it on the PS3.
Yeah.
Should I play it on the
only
PS4?
I only played on the
Yes.
PS3. I
Yes.
didn't play on the PS2, but I played on the PS3, yeah.
I mean, let's be clear. This isn't a remaster. This is totally redone, and it. I'm sure you guys have played remasters, and it's kind of weird when you're playing it to like actually see the difference because you don't have that immediate, comparison right next to you. But like, it is drastically more detailed, and it's so gorgeous. It's beautiful, and I'm playing it up. I was playing on Pro, so I bumped it up to 60 frames. And it's just so. I think, like you said earlier, Shari, is smooth.
Yeah.
It's just so
It
smooth.
looks really smooth.
And I definitely
seen
plan on
images.
going back and playing like a hard mode run and maybe streaming that, making some videos out of that.
Nice.
Did they change the mechanics at all, or are the mechanics the same? I was fine with the mechanics, but they are... Okay, they're the same. That's fine.
Same mechanics. I think like
The
the
control
only
schemes?
thing... The control scheme is the exact same thing, yeah.
Okay.
Other than like, you hit the touchpad to open the map. That's about it. But they did... The only new thing they added, I believe, is there's now like 76, I think, coins hidden throughout the entire map. And if you find them all, it opens up a door that's at that original place you always respawn. And that door has been in previous games. There was just no way to open it. In this one, you can open it if you collect all 76 coins and you get something called the Sword of Dorman, which drastically increases your damage output, but
Decreases
lowers
your health.
it lowers your health regeneration.
Oh, right.
Oh.
You regenerate health still, but it regenerates much slower.
Interesting.
Which in the context of Shadow of the Colossus, I think is a small price to pay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I would want that sword though. If I were going to play in hard mode, I would want to just like, I would want it to be hard.
Yeah.
I want it to be difficult.
That's fair. How do you do hard mode with Shadow of the Colossus? I've only played it once, so I don't know.
I mean, I think like, you take more damage, you deal less damage.
You have less stamina or something.
Yeah,
You
your
don't
stamina
get
probably
the apples
depletes
or the
quicker.
lizards and stuff like that?
I think you probably still could, but it
Okay.
probably increases it less.
Oh, when you say hard mode, it's a legit mode
it's a
in the
legit
settings.
Yeah, like when you
okay,
start a new game, it's like,
Oh, sorry.
Normal,
I thought you meant
easy,
like an
hard.
artificial hard mode for yourself. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So they just made a hard mode. Interesting. Okay. That's nice.
yeah.
I really want to get it. It's like one of my favorite games of all
I'm
time.
so
Oh, you
tempted.
got it.
I know.
Oh, you got it.
So
So
tempted.
good.
Played it so many
tempted.
times. Fucking hell.
And it's not a full game price either. It's $40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so tempting.
Yeah.
I think they have
can't
a
say I'm
limited
like
edition one.
Oh yeah.
Might come with a statue or something, or maybe like a map or something.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can't really call myself a true Shadow of the Colossus fan because I didn't really play Ico or Shadow of the Colossus until like, the PS3 bundle came out, and so I did buy it for that. And I played them both and absolutely
even
loved
mean?
both those games.
What does that mean, woman?
I know. I know. It doesn't matter. I played the games and I loved them, so it doesn't matter, but I didn't play on the PS2 originally.
I hated Ico. I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, I
I
tried
actually really
playing
liked
Ico.
it.
I played Ico after Shadow of the Colossus, and I'm like,
Oh,
I can see
played
why
it
people
first.
love it, but
Yeah.
I think that's the reason I liked it, because I played it first because I knew Shadow of the Colossus was meant to be kind of a spiritual prequel to it. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. And so I knew that, and so I was like, well, I'll play Ico first because it was made first, and I think that was better. I could have, I can definitely agree that if I played Ico after, I would have not have liked it, but I played it first. And so I got really into it as far as the emotional attachment and stuff like that. Some of the puzzle mechanics were janky as all get out, but I got really attached to the mechanics and stuff like that. Even just the whole, like, you have to hold down that stupid button so that you keep holding her hand and stuff like that. Like, I got really into that. I mean, again, silly little thing, but, like, I got into that kind of thing. So I could totally
So
understand
I
why
found
got into it.
the collector's edition. So for North America, it's a special edition that comes with a box, steelbook, artist postcards, printed manual. Ooh, printed manual is part of a...
Jeez, right?
That's a selling point for special
printed
editions
manual.
nowadays. We print the
I
fucking
know.
manuals.
Oh my gosh.
When I just got the PS4 and the Vita, and I got the games and opened the box, and I'm like, wait, where's the manual? Why is it so light?
I know, right?
It just feels so wrong to have so much blue space.
I know.
It just feels wrong.
Or even like, oh my
Ooh, a
gosh! I mean,
steel bookcase.
mean, no-
I'm a sucker for those.
Yeah, I love
Sorry.
steelbook stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I don't buy further about the manuals. I don't buy CD-ROM games anymore. But back when I did, like, I was waiting for it to download my computer. So what would I do? I read the manual. But like, that's like
Yeah.
not a thing now. So weird.
It comes with
Anyway,
custom teams in an avatar set, the world map, stickers, and a bunch of
Oh,
in-game
Colossus
digital
stickers.
extras.
Oh my god.
But that's the North American one. The UK one comes with a figurine.
Oh, okay.
Ah, come on.
It comes
Of course it
with
does.
the Valus figurine, which is one of the
Valus,
earliest
which
one. I
one's
think it's the first one you fight. I can't remember.
I think it might be. Yeah.
But yeah, that's only from game.co.uk. I think it's an exclusive for them. So if you want to buy it, look on eBay and buy it for like 10 times the price, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Gaius, you mean? Yeah, he's. I don't know if he's
Gaius
the
is
first
the
one.
third one.
Yeah, he's
It's the guy with
he's
the
classic
club.
one.
Yeah.
He's the guy
Yeah.
with the club.
He's the third
I
one.
think he is the third one. Yeah, he's like the classic one.
yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as I think
A
he's
lot of
the
the
third one.
promotional materials and marketing materials use
Yeah,
him.
because he is kind of one of the best ones.
He's
He is,
also one of
he's
the most
really fun.
recognizable ones, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
And I
He's
guess it's
definitely
easy
one
to
who's-
fit him in like pictures as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because some of the fucking
Yeah.
colossi is like freaking massive.
They're ridiculous.
I was so scared fighting the stupid fish one. Fuck that fish. It was swimming
Oh
around
my
me
gosh.
and I have like I'm
Right?
just afraid of like open waters and like deep ass water and
Oh, yeah,
shit
it's
in the
freaky.
water, and it
Yeah.
was just like circling me. I'm
Oh
like,
my
son
gosh.
of a bitch.
See, for me, it was
Yeah.
the bird
Gonna
one that
stab you.
freaked me
Or
out.
the-
I remember
or the bird one
the
too.
first time I got onto the bird one and had to hold on, I'm pretty sure I was playing like, ah! What do I do?
That's the thing is like the first time you play that game, it's like a really magical experience.
Yeah.
The game is still good to replay after that, but it's
Yeah.
never the same.
Yeah, oh my
There's
gosh.
always that
like,
first time.
Oh, yeah. Ah! But yeah.
Yeah, I was telling one of my good friends is playing it for the first time, and
Oh, jeez.
I really
Oh,
envy her
I
because
wish I could do that.
I definitely enjoyed this playthrough on PS4, but I couldn't help thinking every hour or so, like, damn, I wish I was coming across these guys for the first time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like trying to figure out these puzzles again.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I understand what people say similar things about Dark Souls, I guess. It's a similar feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting
Yeah,
the bosses
yeah.
for the first time and stuff like that, and overcoming them. I think Shadow of the Colossus was a pretty good
Yeah,
parallel.
it's pretty... Yeah, I could see that.
It's interesting how, like, especially in the gaming community, like that particular feeling, it's not necessarily nostalgia. It's like a yearning to go back to when you didn't know
Yeah.
how to do
Yeah.
something.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah.
If Altered Carbon ever you just like choose that particular memory and delete it or something.
Exactly. I mean, yes, you're not wrong. There would be a way. Oh, jeez.
You just have to go through all the folders of like porn images in your head and shit.
of your
like,
memories and just
delete that
oh my
specific
gosh.
part.
It's true.
it's
though.
probably wanting to feel that feeling of when you figured it out for the first
Yeah.
time.
And the feeling of awe, because a lot of those bosses are so massive
Yeah.
too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and you're just like, oh.
Because you're right. Because
Like
you use the sword to like find the direction.
find
right?
them. The GPS sword.
The GPS sword, and
Yeah.
you're riding to it, and it's like, and you just start hearing the footstep, boom, 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 and feeling it too on your
gosh.
controller. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
After I've beaten them like 18 times, they're so much smaller.
You know.
It seems so much smaller to me.
There's this really funny story. So you know that game that Ellen made really popular, where there's like a name of a famous person or movie on the phone, and then you put it on your forehead, and then you try to guess it.
Yes.
Charades.
Heads up.
Heads up?
Head
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be.
so-
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So we were playing like a bunch of colleagues and stuff, right? And the movie Golden Compass came out.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were like trying to get her to say the word golden, and she did. And we were trying to get her to say the word compass, and we were like, the thing that shows you direction, GPS? No, the movie is not called Golden GPS.
Gold GPS.
Golden GPS.
Because you said
jeez.
GPS, so it just reminded me of that. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really
That's
fucking
funny.
hilarious. So yeah, Spyro Trilogy is a thing. Not yet a thing, it's a
Yes.
rumor. Hopefully it's a
Yeah.
thing.
They are finally making a sequel to Shaq Fu.
Yes. Shaq Fu the Legend Reborn. And it's gonna get a physical version. Yeah.
Okay.
I need it. I need it in my
do
life.
Do we
I
need
do.
it?
Yes.
Does the world need? You know what? With the world the way it sucks right now, yeah, we need it.
We
I
need
agree with
it.
you.
We need Shaq Fu
Oh, jeez.
in the White
Here
House.
we all deserve.
So the last bit from me, I'm not sure if Sarah, what's your news story?
Okay. So my news story is a controversial thing that Steam did. Uh-oh.
Who?
So,
Steve.
Valve.
Oh, Valve,
I should say
okay.
Valve. Yeah.
I thought you
Valve
said
has
Steve.
the headline is Valve has cut ties with developer and publisher Insel Games and has removed all
Insel.
their games from Steam. Was this yours news story?
No. But I know about it.
Okay. So
No, I'm just laughing at
basically
the
what-
name is Insel Games.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So basically what happened was a post was leaked on Reddit, an email that the CEO of Insel gave to all their employees that basically said, go on Steam and write a positive review. And apparently it was kind of threatening, like, do it or else. Let me see if I can look at the... Yeah. So, like, they sent this email out that was like, make sure that because it was Wildbusters, I think, was their game. I'm not familiar with this company, so I can't really say much. But they're saying, hey, we need to get positive reviews. We're not selling well. So yeah.
Insel did this.
And literally the email writes, I cannot force you to write a review, let alone tell you what to write, but I should not have to. Neglecting the importance of reviews will ultimately cost jobs. If if all this fails, we will have no job next year. So make sure, do this. You will be reimbursed within 24 hours or explain to me tomorrow why you do not wish to do this.
Damn.
So,
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty damning. So, it was someone who probably works for Insel or knew someone who did or whatever, posted on Reddit, and Valve found out, did a little investigation. Yeah. And basically said, nope, and just pulled all their games from Insel from Steam. If you do have it downloaded, you can still play them through Steam. They're not broken, but you can't buy them anymore.
But Wildbuster, if I'm not mistaken, is an MMO, so...
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing is, you said an employee posted this on Reddit, right? Anonymously, I guess?
I'm guessing. I actually don't know for sure. Let me see. There was a Reddit post. Let me see what the Reddit post says.
That doesn't necessarily sound controversial. It just sounds like Insel is fucked up.
Yeah, I know. It's not necessarily it really isn't that controversial. Yeah. It doesn't actually... The person who posted doesn't say who they are. They deleted all identifying information from the... Because they basically just put a screenshot and put it on Reddit. But they put it in the Steam Reddit section. And it just tagged it with dev misbehavior. And they just they deleted... They covered up all identifying information, just posted up the... doing that. So, that's all I know. I don't know who did it. I know who's the account of the person who did it, but that also could just be a nothing account. I don't know. So,
if it really was a developer, I guess that person should have known that he'll be out of a job if they posted this thing.
Yeah. Well, they probably are just I don't know. They probably may have just thought it was either worth it, or maybe it was a friend that someone forwarded and was like, "Hey, look at this," and they were like, "Oh, geez, I'm gonna put that on."
Good for them.
So yeah, I mean, whistleblowers, right? They should be. I mean, it's a small company, so they won't be protected, but hopefully they can find another job.
Yeah, that's like the worst part of it. Is the devs that get fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But hopefully their integrity will pay off in karma. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so Insel's out, or at least their games are not on Steam anymore. Oops. But yeah, that was my crazy news story.
Damn.
Yeah. Whoops.
So yeah, my last piece of news is a really slow week. So there's somebody making on Patreon $6,000 a month for adding drugs to The Sims 4.
Oh.
That sounds awesome.
What?
Basically, they're making because they were already mods for drugs. It's just that you can't interact with them, and this guy is taking those and making them interactable. The first thing he did was snorting a line of cocaine action.
Oh.
Okay.
Enough people are making it. This guy's getting $6,000 a month
on Patreon. Yeah.
Shoot, man.
Yep.
It's got to be a good mod.
Jeez.
And
people are crazy.
There's also so when Philip, the guy who is making all this, initially posted the mod on Lover's Lab, one poster took exception to it, saying that we have enough problems with drugs in this world without a drug mod for The Sims. Other than that, he says that the reaction to Base Mental, which is the name of the mod, Base Mental, has been positive. Sims players are usually hungry for mods that add new things to simulate in their games, from the sacrificial extreme violence mod to Sim Dreamer's prostitution mod.
Yeah, people are kind of weird about those kinds of things. I mean, at least they're doing it in a virtual world, not a real world. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's good, but it's still... it's kind of weird. Like, if you, like, I've never been this kind of person, but there are some people that when it comes to, like, virtual reality kind of things, or, like, the age-old issue we actually have had with whenever we invite new people. I'm a big tabletop player, in case my audiences don't remember. I've played it for a very long time, and, one of the issues that we have found with, like, inviting new people to our group who've never played tabletop before, like, new people are great. I love having new people. But one thing that's sometimes going to happen if these people play a lot of, like, single-player open-world games like Skyrim or anything by Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, is they start to not remember the cooperative element, and they basically, like, use tabletop as just a free reign of, like, what they can get away with instead of kind of trying to work together to tell a story. And so, like, that's sometimes what I think about when I hear about these, like, advances in these games. It's like, people just want to do the craziest stuff and see what they can get away with in a virtual world, which, again, probably mentally more healthy, still kind of weird. People are weird.
I just want to see my Sims trip on acid.
I mean, I will admit that does sound kind of funny.
That's all I want to do.
I'm kind of interested in the violence mod because you can make your kids kill your parents, so...
Oh,
cool.
That sounds cathartic for some people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's it from me.
Okay, that's all I really had.
Okay. Not much. Eric, you wanna bring anything up?
I can't really think of anything.
It's cool.
Alright, that's fine.
So yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap up.
I think we're good.
Cool.
Alright, folks.
So yeah, let's do the thing we usually do. Eric, since you're the guest, you can go first. First time, Sarah, I need to go first.
Yes, I don't have to go first. I always have to go first.
Eric, where can people find you and your channel and your stuff?
My channel is you could literally type in youtube.com/ErikNyeGames. That's Eric with a K. My Twitter is also at ErikNyeGames. You know.
And all the links
it.
will be down below. So, yeah, Sarah, where can people find you?
I am under Sarahscopic, SARAHSCOPIC. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. I try to answer people back. I've been pretty quiet lately. I apologize. Things have gotten crazy. And I'm on Twitch. I'm supposed to be on Twitch this Sunday. I don't know if I will be. We'll keep you posted on that one. We'll see.
Oh yeah, my Twitch is Erik_Nye.
Yeah. Mine's Sarahscopic for everything. Except for Twitter, it's SARSCOPE. But if you type in Sarahscopic, you'll find it.
Cool. Pupunoob, PUPNOB everywhere. So yes, this has been episode 127 of the playonultra podcast. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.